Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's recap of Dancing with the Stars.
So, we started off with a performance by Aloe Black and a guy in a tuxedo shirt and a violin girl.
Okay, so they performed Wake Me Up and it was great. I loved it.
It was a really nice pro dance.
I think they realized they need to figure out a way to bring in some performances since
Because
they don't have the elimination show anymore. So I think this was a good way to do it. He performed all throughout the night.
Right. Derek Huff choreographed the opening number. They had the celebrity walk out separate. I think they did that because they really didn't want to ruin that song.
Maybe.
And they had more time to kill.
It was a cool number.
Right. They didn't want to ruin it. So Tom reveals, dun dun dun, that the audience vote says a lady star's going home tonight.
Unless something drastically changes with tonight's scores.
Alright,
Alright,
so...
he didn't say drastically, but...
Well, when the scores are added in, something might... You need to pull an A just to fail. Alright, so life-changing event dances tonight. Up first, Christina and Mark.
Alright, so I didn't even know that she was married before, but she was, and her husband cheated on her, and they're divorced.
So I guess it wasn't that embarrassing because we didn't hear about it. Just kidding. It was horrible. Alright, so they were still trying to make sense of the snarky comment last week by Julianne Hough.
Yeah, this is kind of confusing because I know that Mark and Julianne, like, basically grew up together, and I thought
They're besties.
They're best friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's her, Mark, and Derek. They're, like,
Right.
besties. But I don't know if something happened or if, like, that comment was taken the wrong way, but it seems like there actually is, like, there's some bad feelings there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I actually thought that comment was misconstrued.
I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
But he seemed really offended.
And so did she. So I think that gave her a little extra steam to do well this week.
Yeah, so they did a cha-cha based on
Her divorce.
To CeeLo's Forget You.
And I thought it was really excellent.
Yeah, I enjoyed
She did
it.
a really good job. She
Her
looked
legs
great
could have
out
been
there.
a little bit straighter, but other than that, it was really great.
For Len to give it a 10, it had to be pretty good.
Not just a 10 from Len, but the first 10 of the season.
Right, so that was a 28 for them. So then Jack and Cheryl were up next, and unless you were under a rock, you couldn't figure out what his deal was. He became a father, and then a few weeks later found out that he had MS.
That's really rough.
That's like, woo, high down to the lowest low.
Yeah.
So he did a waltz, and he dedicated it to his wife and his daughter, Pearl.
I love that name. That's so cute.
I love that name. And it was really beautiful, and he's got so much more confidence than he's had since the show started.
He's definitely better in ballroom than he is in Latin.
And he's improving every week.
Yeah, you could tell he really was confident with what he was doing. He knew what came next, and
The
it was
hold
good.
was not so good, though.
I mean,
still work to be done.
that's usually something that takes a long time to get used to. So
Right. He ended up with it. Well, they ended up with a 27. All right, now Leah and Tony up next. I'm not entirely sure what the deal was with her.
I'm pretty sure that her thing was leaving Scientology.
Never mentioned Scientology, though. They literally danced around the whole Scientology thing.
I think there could have been some sort of legal reason
Some
why she wasn't
pressure.
saying it, or just like for her own protection. Because
Did Kirstie Alley threaten to stampede the place?
let's not go
With
there.
Tom Cruise and J-Lo. I don't know. I don't know.
So this dance was supposed to be about like breaking free from whatever she was referring to, which we can only assume was Scientology.
Right, and it was supposed to be a contemporary, and the whole thing was so ironic. They danced to Roar. There was not much dancing. There was a whole lot of lifts.
Pick me up!
So, in order to break free, you have to not have people lifting you up in the air. You should be dancing on your own.
I don't know.
They ended up with a 22, which was the lowest score of the night.
That was pretty rough.
Because people recognized
some of those lifts were a little shaky.
And there wasn't much dancing there.
Yeah, but I feel bad for Tony because he made a point. Like, yes, I'm a ballroom champ. I don't know what this contemporary crap is.
And also, did you notice in the video package he had said, like, if the celebrity does well, everyone's like,
yeah.
But if the celebrity does poo-poo, they blame it on the teacher.
It's not your fault, Tony. We love you.
We love you. All right. So
then he had a little interview with Paris Hilton.
Little skeleton Paris Hilton stood up, and I'm thinking, why? Is she going to be groomed for next season?
I hope not. She said she was there to watch her friend, Christina Milian.
I'm sorry, but she looked practically comatose. She's not a good interview. She's just like...
Yeah, that's huge.
All right,
it's hot.
Corbin and Karina were up next, and I really loved his story.
Yeah, he dedicated his dance to his sister who has scoliosis, and it was really heartfelt.
It really was. She has a great attitude.
I teared up a little bit.
I did shed a tear over that. I thought it was really touching that he would choose something with her, highlighting her, and not just like, don't I have a great career?
High School Musical.
Yeah, you would have thought he would have picked like High School Musical, but he's humble.
Yeah.
And he picked his sister.
I didn't really know that much about Corbin before this because I was like, oh, High School Musical.
Yeah.
And I wasn't into that scene, but
I think he's a really great person.
He seems like a really nice person.
Yeah. They did a foxtrot to My Wish, and it was really beautiful.
It was a delight to watch.
It was a delight. And Carrie Ann, of course... Karina
was like, no, biatch, we didn't.
Foot was on the floor. and Carrie Ann was like,
yeah.
No, it wasn't.
So then Tom Bergeron was like, all right, if we can go back and review the tape, will you change your score later? And then they had a ruling
right,
in the
that
rule
you
book.
couldn't change your score.
Scores are final, blah,
and
blah,
they
blah.
never showed the tape back, so we don't know.
Probably because it's really, like, timed, so they couldn't do that.
Right, so they ended up with a 28. Then Mario Lopez was in the audience. He stood up. They were really trying to kill some time tonight, pointing out the celebs.
Yeah.
And you noticed that he was more dressed up than he is for the X Factor.
Come on, Mario! For weeks I've been saying, like, what is Mario wearing? That's not appropriate. You're a TV host.
I know.
Put on a freaking jacket. He looked great tonight.
Or even a tie, for crying out loud. Dress up a little. It's your job. All right, so Bill and Emma were up next, and he was all like, yeah, I tried to get my wife's shirt before she was my wife.
Oh my God, it got a little dicey. Finally, she gave it up. No, I'm just kidding. So, his year of choice was 1982 when he and his wife got married. And it was nice to see that side of him.
They did a Viennese waltz to Always a Woman to Me. Billy Joel. Billy!
Yeah, right. And when I heard that they were doing a VW, I was like, oh no. Because it is really, really tricky to do Viennese waltz as a beginner.
Yes.
There's like a lot of rotation issues, it's fast, it's a lot of footwork going on.
He nailed them Shanays.
I wouldn't say he nailed them.
To the floor. All right. She had a great costume.
I love that costume.
It was really pretty. Except when she turned around and the
butt was weird.
She had a wedgie.
I don't know what that was.
She had a killer wedgie.
The thing about this dance, though, while it wasn't technically great, you could tell he put so much emotion into it.
He tried. He touched us, but it kind of sucked.
Sounds weird.
All right, so 24, and I'm actually really surprised
that was a little bit high.
A little?
As in, like, 3 points.
Yeah.
I totally saw that as a 21.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a judge.
Quiet, Julianne. It's not your week. All right, so Snooks and Sasha were up next, and hers was all like, yeah,
I used to be a real dirtbag, but then I got pregnant.
And I was worried that I was going to be a bad mother because everybody was saying it. She's a great mom.
She actually does seem like a really good mom.
Yeah. So they did a jazz routine to Work Bitch, the new Britney Spears song. Gee, you used to be young and dumb.
No, she seems like a changed person.
All right, so...
Somewhat.
What was that?
I don't know. It was very interesting.
They had her in pants, and I
did not like the look.
That threw me off, and the hair was like weird. And
yeah, I thought the choreography was great. I thought she executed it really well, but Something about the costume just threw
Sasha
it all
was
off.
swinging her around like a 5-year-old. It looked like weird. It just looked really weird, but she ended up with a 27.
I thought it was well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, it looks so weird.
All right.
Brant and Peta, this was my favorite.
Oh my
of the
god,
night.
this made me cry too. This was
Yeah.
so sad. His year was 2009, and he was talking about how he moved out to Hollywood to pursue his acting dream.
His dad brought him out there to make sure that he was okay, and then just a few months later, I think it was, he had to come back home and spend 2 weeks while his dad was in a medically induced coma by his side, basically watching him die, which was
That's really sad.
really, really sad. And they had a contemporary stroke of luck. And
Was it luck though? I feel like they just gave them whatever.
Oh, I don't
song
know.
they
Maybe.
wanted.
Maybe. But he danced to Elton John's Your Song.
It's one of my favorite songs, and I call it my song.
It was beautiful. Really beautiful dance.
It
really
was.
heartfelt and everything, but I don't get how the whole dance reflected him losing his dad.
I didn't see that story in that dance.
Was it because he felt like conflicted whether he should be in like California or at his dad's bedside?
I'm not really sure, but we did enjoy the dance.
It was really good. I think he did a really great job, and I was really shocked that there was no 10s.
Yeah, he got a 27. I would
That
have
sucked.
expected at least 110.
Yeah, if not more.
All right. Well, next up, Amber and Derek, also 2009.
She got turned down for Idol.
Which is
I'm
crazy.
shocked by that. I'm absolutely shocked by that. Which was probably the best thing that could have happened for her because she got her
Yeah.
role on Glee. So they did a foxtrot, which was really a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun to watch. It was entertaining. It was energetic. But I have to agree with Len. There wasn't that much foxtrot in that foxtrot.
Yeah, and he scored them down severely. Len
Yeah.
only gave that a 7, so they ended up with a 26.
But Bruno's 10 really made up for that.
Yeah. All right, Elizabeth and Val, the last ones of the evening. Her year was 1989. Actually, if you listen to her package, it was 1989 was the kickoff to the rest of her life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but
All right, well, Saved by the Bell.
life-changing moments.
And of course, Mr. Val, I learned English on your show.
But I like the other one.
Yeah, but my favorite iconic moment of the show was the peels,
Duh!
which was my favorite as well.
How could it not be?
All right,
So they had a little, like, skit thing in the beginning of their dance.
little vignette to "I'm So Excited," a jive.
She was taking jive
She was
pills.
like, "I need jive pills." You don't need those.
Yeah.
All right, it was cheesy, but it was good.
I mean, for a song like that, though, I feel like it has to be, like, bouncing off the walls, and I
Yeah.
don't think she had enough energy to pull off that song.
She did lose a little steam at the end. All right, she lost a lot of steam at the end.
I mean, for this show, though, with the other people, like, compared to other people, I thought it was, like, solid.
I thought a fist fight was going to break out between Carrie Ann and Len, though. She was like, "You're kind of not so good." And Len was like, "Oh my God, that was so clean."
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone needs glasses there.
I don't know, but they got a 26.
All right. So that is the performance portion of the show. Now let's move on to the elimination.
Yeah, they were like, Elizabeth and Val, you're in danger.
Yeah, they told them right after they got their scores.
That seems to be a new thing that they're doing now.
Right. And they weren't really.
Yeah.
They
Then
got-
they were like, okay, you're safe.
Yeah. So it really came down to Christina and Mark and Leah and Tony. And I was for sure that Leah was going home.
I mean, it made sense that Leah would go because,
Yeah.
like, she's not the worst on the show necessarily, but
No, but Christina had the highest mark. And Mark. And Leah had the lowest mark of the
Yeah.
evening. So you would think that Leah was going home, and then when they said that Christina was going home, everybody was like, what?
I guess she just didn't have the fan base.
It was kind of awkward, actually, because everybody was like, "Oh my God, this is so shocking. Hello,
Yeah.
Leah's in the room. She can hear you." She's all like, over
I mean,
there. And
I'm sure even Leah was like, wow, I'm shocked. Come on.
they like me. They really like me.
Yeah, so I'm a little surprised that Christina went, but it happens every once in a while. Somebody really great just doesn't have that
The
support.
second time it's happened to Mark.
At least.
Yeah. I mean, was this sixth? No, I don't think so.
Let's just wrap this up.
All right, then. Till next week.
Much love.